Welcome back to Sports Connection. We're staying on the diamond, moving down to Franklin-Simpson. I think that's Nashville Road, right, Coach? I got Coach Will Height, WKU Hall of Famer. Spent some times in AAA, and I got called up a few times. I got two of his seniors there with us tonight, Carmine and Garrett. Guys, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Well, good season last year, Coach. The record didn't reflect, what team you had. You guys, made a push there, postseason push. What have you seen so far? And how much have you got to see of them? It's early.
No, we got out quite a bit last week, which was good, and we're going to get out quite a bit this week. And I think the more you get outside, the more you start to see what you got, and it gets better as you go. It's a lot, it's a lot different being inside all the time. So we got a lot of good work done, but. Man, I love our guys. I like what we got coming back. We didn't have any seniors last year. And what those guys did last year from the start to the end was a testament to how hard they worked. And they're doing the same this year. So look forward to it, man. It's a good group.
Coach, no seniors last year and a bunch of seniors this year. You got two of them here with you. Just kind of introduce us to the guys you brought with you.
Garrett Sadler, he's our third baseman. Great energy guy, good leader for us. You know what you're going to get out of him every day. Probably the dirtiest one on the field when you leave.
Nice.
Carmine Cook, another great leader for us. We look for Carmine to throw a bunch of innings for us this year. He's a lefty. Got good stuff. So two guys right here that hopefully contribute a bunch for us this year.
Well, I want to start with your lefty over there, your southpaw on the mound. How long have you been pitching, Carmine?
As far as I can remember. First, I didn't play T-ball, but played Pee Wee, started Little League, started pitching from there. It's been an everyday thing.
All right, so I used to dream of being a pitcher. It was not in the cards for me, so it's very cool to be up here on the mound and everything kind of riding on your arm. And do you play with it a lot? Do you at the house when Coach ain't looking? Are you messing with new pitches in your mind?
Well. During flat ground, I usually stick to what I know. I mean, I see TikToks, I see videos. I'll maybe grab a ball and work on it, but I've tried. It doesn't really work. I can just stick with my guns, stay with the same pitches.
What are those pitches? You got a slider?
Well, I did change my arm slot, so now I did have a curveball. It's more of a slider now, but usually just fastball, curveball, changeup. Started working on that a little bit more. Really didn't have that when I first started pitching. Didn't start to this year. It started working a little bit more, but before it wasn't very good.
Yeah, if he perfects that changeup, Coach, that's a good tool to have. What about you, Garrett? What are you working on in the off season and start of this year?
This year I was working on my bat. I mean, I can definitely improve this year. Definitely improving this year. I'm trying to bat 400 this year, so hopefully if we all can swing it this year, we'll go deeper in what we can think. But that's what it's going to come down to, is if we're going to hit it. But that's what I've been working on the most, is hitting it.
Love it.
Obviously, you have to have an arm to be a pitcher, but you have to have an arm to also be a third baseman, making those plays. What's your favorite thing about playing third base?
Honestly, especially those balls that are backhanded right down the line when you get the dive, and then you have time to make a good throw, and it gets the crowd, everybody in the dugout gets hyped. It's just good energy all around the field.
Being seniors, I'll let one of y'all go and then the other one, but what has just been your favorite thing, I guess, just being a part of the program for so long and now just being working your way up to your final season?
Well, I feel like everybody says a team, but I feel like that's the most important thing to me. I can go out there, practice every day. Feel like sometimes the practice isn't good. I go home a little upset, wake up a little upset, but every day I walk into school, I see the people I practice with every day since I was young, and it fixes a lot of the issues I have. It's hard to get down on yourself. When I got him in the dugout with me, everybody else, I got a bunch of characters on the team. It really helps having them there. So that's probably my favorite part.
Oh yeah, team for sure. We all grew up together, and we're all here together now. We got one of them coming back playing for us this year. He's another big part for us. So yeah, especially walking in the hallway, seeing each other. It's definitely a team.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have a skipper like you got either, man. And, Matt Wilhite, the question that we all want to know, and it's the first question I should have asked you, did you get a whitetail buck this year?
No,
I'm kidding.
Got shut out.
Well, you just picked and choose. Right. You're at that part of your hunting career that you can do that. What makes this year's team special, Coach? Because you've got to be already picking up some vibes.
I think because they're older. They went through a year last year where, we started out, basically lost everybody from the year before. Started out 2-13 and finished up 14, 15, and 20. So, and even during that time where we weren't playing, weren't winning games, man, it's the same thing this year. a bad practice or last year you lose a game, show up the next day, you're glad to be there just because it's a fun group to be around, and that makes it worth it every day showing up, even when things aren't going good. When they're going good, when you got a group like that works at it every day, you know what you're going to get out of them. That makes it special for us. People always ask, "Oh, what do you think? How the season's going?" Man, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a good team. We got a good team, and you got to have a good team that gets along. But one thing I will say that I always say is that I don't know how it's going to go. Do I want to win a district? Want to win a region? Obviously, yes, that's our goal. But I always say, no matter what happens this year, this is a group that it's going to be sad to see them leave after the season's over. Such that good of a group of kids. So.
What are some things you've really been preaching to them in this off season now that you've kind of got things kind of rolling a little bit and still have a few weeks before the start of the season?
But honestly, how to show up on a Monday in practice. I keep telling them we play a district on a Monday and a region on a Monday. It's like Monday's Groundhog's Day, and that can't happen. So we got to learn how to show up every day, not just four or 5 days out of the week. So no, it's kind of a running joke now, but it's not really. But no, it's the same thing, man. Show up every day, give it all you got, and if you do that, whatever happens, happens. But knowing you've given everything, that's all you can ask for.
Well, I know I want to wish you guys the best of luck, and it's always a lot of fun to see the season get started and see how it funnels. And I think the Franklin-Simpson Wildcats will definitely be rearing their head in postseason again. And Matt, thank you for bringing these fine young men with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having us as always.
Whenever we come back, we will wrap up this week's edition of Sports Connection.